Hey everybody, this is Sam with Daily Sports Betting Overtime, and we are on the Overtime Network, coming to you early this morning with a important episode about the PGA Tour. I know last week I didn't get you an episode out about betting on golf, and I wanted to kind of make up for that. I went ahead and wrote an article early evening yesterday. It was on the overtimenetwork.com, meant to record a podcast episode, and it slipped my mind. This is the podcast episode, though, for the Mexican Open. It is at Vidanta Vallarta, and there's 500 FedEx Cup points on the line, which has drawn some of the top stars on the tour, but it's more about some young up-and-comers. So I just want to apologize to you guys for not getting an episode out last week about that tournament, and to let you know we're 2 weeks away from betting on the second major of this season. We've already bet on the Masters, so the second major coming up is the PGA Championships. But this week, like I said, we're on the west coast of Mexico, and this is a brand new first-time PGA event, and they've named it the Mexican Open. Now, the players seem to be excited about the challenges that this course holds, and, there's always that unknown feeling when you're playing on a course you've never seen before. The reason why they know this course is going to be a challenge is because Greg Norman, the PGA champion, designed this course, and it has over 100 different bunkers. This is the second most that is on this year's PGA Tour. And then we've been told that the course also has a lot of sand-covered rough areas that we may see some players get on. It's the seventh longest course at 7,456 yards, and this area of Mexico is said to have high, unpredictable winds. And so one of the questions that is out there is, will players that have extreme long drives off the tee going to be able to air it out, or are the winds going to conquer them this week? Now, this is the 12th largest greens that are on the PGA Tour. And the fairways, and I can't pronounce it, I never can, but the fairways are covered in paspalum, I believe is how someone told me to pronounce it. And then we've got water on 11 out of the 18 holes. So being very accurate and your approach, making sure of how you're going to do your approach, is going to be critical for all golfers to have any success on this course. Now, like I said, we've got some proven champions, some stars on this roster that is coming up for this week, and we've got some budding young up-and-comers. We've got Jon Rahm, who has to be the biggest star that is going to be playing this week. We are going to take him and bet him this week. He is the favorite at plus 350. Now, if you're listening to others out there, you shouldn't be, But if you're listening to other sports handicappers in the area of golf, many of them are telling you to bet on Chris Kirk. And he's plus 3,500 this week. And I'm really leery of him. You know, I saw some sports handicappers taking him, and I can't pull the trigger on him. He has been ice cold putting recently. I don't know that the Mexican Open is where he's going to warm up some. I think that he may be a golfer to watch. And by that I mean, if he makes it through the cut, then we may look to play him Saturday and Sunday, either in some head-to-heads, or maybe, pull the trigger and bet on him to win it. Now, if you are looking for a dark horse candidate, seems like a lot of people are going with Sebastian Munoz. Plus 2,500. And I look for him to start off strong. However, I think if the winds start whipping and he gets in the water or in the rough early, he may fall apart. And I'm not going to pull the trigger on him either. Then we've got Patrick Reed also at plus 3,500 that a lot of people want to bet on. I think he stumbles this week. And I think that if he starts off bad, I think what's going to happen is he's going to then start doing some risks, taking some risks, and he's going to try to overcome that he has no knowledge on this course. So I know you're like, well, Sam, you're telling me who not to bet. Who do you want me to bet? Well, like I tell you guys, I always choose 5. Why? Because, we've got 75 to 100 golfers. Only 30 or 40 are going to make the cut. Golf is kind of like, throwing a penny in and trying to hit a fish in the middle of a lake. You might every once in a while, but you usually don't. The thing of betting golf is, if you can hit 1 in 5, 1 in 7 of the bets that you take, it makes up for everything you've lost. The key is, don't bet enormous amounts that are going to get you in a hole that you can't overcome. So instead of just picking 1 to bet, I usually pick 5. That makes me spread out my bets. I'm not throwing all of that money on just one person. So like I said, I want to bet the favorite, Jon Rahm. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to bet Abraham Answer at plus 2,000. Tony Finau, who you guys know, or Finau, who you guys know if you've followed me for any length of time. I really like his game. I like betting him top 10 or top 20 a lot of times. He's very consistent. And Kevin Na at plus 2,000. And for my 5th pick, I'm going to do a long shot dark horse. Aaron Raw. R-A-I. Aaron Raw. He's plus 7,000 is what I found him at. Some books have him at plus 6. 6,000 and one buck I found at plus 6,200. But I believe it was FanDuel. I had him at plus 7,000. So those are the 5 golfers I'm taking this week. John Rahm, Tony Finau, Kevin Na, Abraham Ancer, and then Aaron Raw. So, guys, don't forget to check the overtimenetwork.com. We are putting up sports articles. We're doing some sports betting articles over there. We're following pro wrestling. We're getting ready to start ramping up pop culture, paranormal. You guys that are into sports betting, you may want to look on a Patreon site. It's www.patreon.com/The Overtime Network. We have all the sports bets in all sports up there available for you guys to purchase. And if you guys have any questions, comments, problems, or protests, you want to get a hold of me, you can write me at dailysportsbettingot@gmail.com. That's dailysportsbettingot@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on Twitter at Overtime Daily and ask me any questions. DMs are open, and I will be more than happy to answer anything you've got. Guys, I'll be talking to you soon. Subscribe to this podcast feed on the Overtime Network. And hopefully I'll see you down the road.